The wind was Elara's constant companion, a rough-spun cloak of sound that had worn the stones of Dun Aengus into ghosts. It whipped the strands of her copper hair around her face, a perpetual motion that matched the ceaseless, slow shifting of the gray mirror. She was the guardian of a memory, the keeper of a promise whispered millennia ago. Her shawl, woven from the tough marsh reeds and mud-brown moss, was less garment and more camouflage, binding her to the liminal space where land drowned into water. She stood knee-deep in the rust-colored sedges, her eyes fixed not on the crumbling battlements of the fortress on the far bank, but on the future. The ruined castle of Dun Aengus, city of the One King, was now just a jagged scar against the low, bruised sky. Its stones were the color of rain-soaked slate, and only the gulls remembered the flags that had once flown there. But the castle's purpose was not forgotten, not while Elara stood vigil. Near her foot, half-sheathed in the damp earth and guarded by the thorny roots of an ancient willow, lay the Oathblade. It was not Excalibur, though many sought to name it so. It was older, darker, forged in a time when iron was still a mystery and kings ruled by sheer, brutal will. The blade was cold, radiating a deep, silent hum that only Elara could hear. Its crossguard was simple, and the leather of the grip was cracked, but the steel held the light of forgotten stars. A flicker of light, or maybe just the shadow of a gull dipping low over the water, disturbed the surface of the mirror. Elara did not move. For 700 years she had stood in this spot, waiting. She had watched the seasons cycle, watched empires rise and fall like the water level, and watched fools, heroes, and villains come seeking the legendary weapon. Each one had failed. They tried to draw the sword with greed, ambition, or selfish need, and the Oathblade would cling to the earth, immovable as bedrock. Elara knew the prophecy by heart. The blade will only rise for the one who seeks not to rule the past, but to redeem the future. She was neither human nor spirit now, but something in between, a conduit of the land's will, clothed in the mist and the mud, a silent echo of the kingdom's greatest duty. She reached out one hand, slender and pale against the rough fabric of her shawl, and let the tips of her fingers hover just above the sword's pommel. The wind suddenly intensified, screaming across the water and whipping her hair into a frenzy of copper threads. The gulls cried out, spiraling higher toward the gray clouds. A shadow fell over the mere, a shape moving on the far bank. Elara's expression, usually one of eternal, detached patience, tightened with a sudden, sharp anticipation. She looked up, past the water, past the ruin, to the ridge where the road met the horizon. Someone was finally coming, and this time, the Oathblade was singing.